La Cañada residents are preparing for the worst tonight because rainy weather means it's mudslide season.
And students at a Sherman Oaks High School are mourning tonight over the death of a cross-country runner killed in a hit-and-run.
And more than 2,300 students were expected to attend a bike protest on the USC campus today. Find out how many actually did.
Annenberg TV News is next.
You're watching USC's first source for news, Annenberg TV News.
It's another dark and dreary day all across the Southland, and the rain doesn't seem to be letting up. Almost 1/4 of an inch fell at LAX today, and a little less here at USC.
Some residents say that they are worried that the problems the rainy days might bring. Good evening, I'm Robbie Heeger.
And I'm Heather Hope. Tonight, the gloomy weather has brought mudslide preparations and a whole lot of accidents.
It's been raining for much of the day today, and many people are concerned about what may be coming next. La Cañada residents are busy making preparations for the mudslide season. Blockades and street closures are just part of the preparations in preventing rain-related problems. A La Cañada high school student says people are worried about what the rainy days will bring.
Mudslides up on like Angeles Crest and the mountain areas, that's why a lot of people, workers had to create kind of like a basin or something, so a lot of houses don't get hit by those.
Mudslides are not the only worry. Accidents are also a concern. Streets are flooded, so people are doing the best they can to stay inside, out of the gloomy weather, and out of their cars. The California Highway Patrol reported 58 accidents today from 10 a.m. to 5 a.m. From 5 a.m. to 10 a.m. this morning, rather. That is nearly twice the number of accidents compared to last Wednesday. And the rainfall across Southern California has called for another change to the record books. Let's take it over to our weather anchor to give us the rundown. Our very own Megan Tellis is live outside of Levy Library right now to give us an update. Megan, what's going on out there?
Thanks so much, Robbie. You're absolutely right. The records were changed today. If you look back to the date, which means October 20th, 1979, roughly 30 years ago, there was a record rainfall of 0.14 inches. Well, today, 0.57 inches of rain fell at the Long Beach Airport, changing the records up a bit. So I'll have more on the forecast and to let you know what the weather's like outside tonight and through the weekend. Robbie and Heather, back to you.
Thank you, Megan. A federal appeals court has reinstated the Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy that prevents gays from openly serving in the military. Gays who came out while the policy was overturned now may be in a tough spot. ATVN's Kristen Steech talked with Army officials about how they're handling the situation.
To go in and try to enlist. I want to serve.
Openly gay Iraq combat veteran Dan Choi began the process of rejoining the military this morning, while the Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy was temporarily overturned. During the injunction, Choi and all military officers were allowed to be open about their sexuality. But now, Don't Ask, Don't Tell is back, and anyone who has come out will be asked to leave the military. Lieutenant Colonel Richard Kirkland works with the Army ROTC program at USC. Earlier today, he predicted this exact situation and cautioned the new military recruits against coming out of the closet.
They should anticipate that this injunction may be stayed, and in that case, they should probably not, openly admit to this, because once it's reversed, then we would have to ask that person to leave the program.
Kirkland said with the Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy, anyone can go through ROTC classes.
But if you want to participate in all the other activities in the advanced training that ROTC provides beyond just the classroom instruction, that's when we get into the asking.
Government lawyers originally sought to bring back Don't Ask, Don't Tell because they feared it would encourage gays serving in the military to reveal their sexual orientation prematurely. The president says he still supports repealing the policy, but only after a careful review by Congress. LGBT Director Vincent Vigil told me some LGBT students are currently participating in the ROTC program. He says they chose to stay in the closet.
Made the choice to keep it to themselves for fear that when they move forward and go into the military, then there will be some sort of documentation and some sort of incriminating evidence that they were out on campus.
Vigil says gays in the military are playing a waiting game until Don't Ask, Don't Tell is repealed for good. Kristen Steech, TVN.
Members of religious organizations are showing their support for the LGBT community. Their first openly lesbian bishop, Reverend Mary Glasspool, was one of the advocates at the event.
For any religious group to step into that and say, well, we don't want this group of people to have that particular right, seems to me counterproductive to the Constitution guaranteeing people the right to practice their own faith.
The clergy gathered at a nearby church to discuss the signing of a document supporting the repeal of Proposition 8, which bans same-sex marriages.
The students and families of Notre Dame High School in Sherman Oaks are mourning the death of the 16-year-old junior who was hit by a car yesterday while jogging. Flowers mark the spot where Connor Lynch attempted to cross the street on his way to cross-country practice. An 18-year-old driver hit Connor and then drove off before turning herself in. Connor was pronounced dead at the scene, and family and friends and teachers say they will always remember his smile.
Kind of quiet, but always pleasant, very polite. He was a lifeguard at the school this summer, and that's the last time I saw him in June.
The school held a campus-wide prayer service for Connor today. The counselors will continue to offer support to students. A group of high school students are safe tonight after police say they believe a man purposely hit a school bus in Riverside County. Kids on the bus are students of a Nueva Vista high school. The man went the wrong way on a Route 60 exit ramp to Pedley Road. Police say they are looking into the case as an assault with a deadly weapon. Luckily, no one was injured.
Senator Barbara Boxer joined the mayor and local congresswomen in Los Angeles today to talk about jobs.
The 3010 initiative is a template for everyone in California, the local communities who step up to the plate and say, yes, we are ready to help fund these important transportation projects.
Crenshaw LAX corridor will be the first of 12 transit projects to be completed in the 3010 initiative. This 8-mile-long rail line will extend from Crenshaw and Exposition Boulevards to the LAX station. It is expected to provide 15,000 jobs.
Employment that's in the community, the job market is so bad, and you're going to put more people to work that's in this community. And unemployment is so high among African Americans today, and this will have a great impact.
The Crenshaw LAX transit corridor will help to better transport close to 20,000 daily metro riders. It costs a total of $1.4 billion and is set to be completed in 2018.
An audit of the City of Bell's finances released today reveals city officials took for themselves more than $1 million meant for affordable housing. The California Comptroller's Office launched the audit 3 months ago. The office reports city officials used the money to increase their salaries and enjoy other generous perks. President Barack Obama will be visiting USC Friday for a fundraiser and rally. He is expected to speak at 1:30 in the afternoon near Alumni Park. Nearly 30,000 people are expected to show, so expect major delays and traffic around campus in the nearby area. Secret Service and LA DOT have not yet released the street closures. However, pickup and drop-off is expected to occur at Jefferson and Hoover. Some parking spots in PSA and PSX will be reserved, resulting in permit holders having to park elsewhere. The Tea Party Express is in Pasadena tonight to rally for the upcoming midterm elections. With less than 2 weeks before voting begins, the Tea Party hopes the visit will win support for its candidates. The Tea Party's 4th national bus tour started Monday and will continue across the country until the day before the vote. Tonight's event is being held in the Rose Bowl parking lot.
Graco is recalling about 2 million strollers after 4 infants died in the strollers. The Consumer Product Safety Commission says if babies are not properly strapped into these strollers, they can slide between the stroller tray and the bottom of the seat where they can get trapped and be strangled. The recalled products are the Quattro Tour models, manufactured before November 2006, and Metrolite models, manufactured before July 2007. You can find out more about the Graco stroller recall online at atvn.org. Just click on Link Up. Stocks made a strong rebound today following the worst day on Wall Street in over 2 months. The Dow surged 129 points to close at 11,127. And the NASDAQ gained 20 points to end the day at 2,457. Today's recovery continues the recent pattern of a series of rises, followed by a drastic dip and then a quick rebound.
Protesters in the street of Paris continue today and are causing traffic and flight cancellations. Citizens are protesting the president's plan to change the retirement age from 60 to 62. In addition to blocking roads and airports, striking workers have been blocking fuel depots, leaving 3,000 gas stations without fuel. Police are firing tear gas in an effort to maintain control and have detained almost 1,500 protesters. And USC students organized a peaceful demonstration on Truesdale today in response to the administration's campus bike bans. ATVN's Maren Austin has more on where the protest is really taking place.
12 USC students rode their bikes today from the corner of Hoover and Jefferson to the end of Truesdale. They rode through the center of campus to show their support for keeping USC a bike-friendly community.
I think the overall DPS bike ban is a bit ridiculous.
Banning bikes on campus doesn't really make any sense. It's our right to be able to bike on campus.
More than 2,300 people RSVP'd for this event on Facebook, but only 12 showed up. Most of the conversation on this topic is taking place on the internet. It all began on Facebook. A student who calls himself Devin Schwinn created an event page on Facebook called USC Bike Ban Civil Disobedience. Vice President Michael Jackson sent out an email to students and faculty that stated, "I want to assure you that the university has no plans to ban bikes from campus." Within 45 minutes, the creator of the event responded on the Facebook page. "While I appreciate the Prince of Pop's email to the USC students, it does nothing to address the issue of removing bike racks." DPS Captain David Carlisle told us that last year, 40 bicycle accidents were reported on campus.
The current situation where students are requested to walk their bikes in the center of campus is the same policy as last year, 5 years ago, and 10 years ago. There has been no change. The USC transportation engineer says the university should at least partially ban cyclists from riding on campus because they're dangerous.
I stopped counting the number of times I'd been knocked down by students on bicycles when we got to 5.
As far as banning bikes in the USC community, DPS and the administration says they'll be taking a hard look at their options over the next few months. Maren Austin, ATVN.
Over 7.8 million participants across California are getting ready to drop, cover, and hold in the 2010 California Shakeout tomorrow.
Especially at USC, a school that has a lot of out-of-state students, it's important to educate, and California in general. It's surprising how many people aren't aware of the fact that there is such thing as earthquake safety.
10/21, USC students will have the opportunity to learn how to protect themselves during a large-scale earthquake. Tips for the Great Shakeout include not running outside and not standing in a doorway. Past activities include mock emergency services and emergency supplies.
Find out what one generous donation from Microsoft means for Los Angeles schools.
And why some community colleges may be failing their students. What students should know about how not to be a victim.
And find out how one USC grad is taking advantage of the food truck craze, how he is using internet to make money.
Welcome back to ATVN. This morning, the Mendez Learning Center was given a financial helping hand from an unlikely source, Microsoft. With Mayor Villaraigosa on hand, the corporation announced today that they will give a $1 million grant to the Partnership for Los Angeles Schools in an effort to bridge the technology gap in one of the city's underserved communities.
So use the tools here, but really think about what you want to be when you grow up.
It means like we have all these opportunities to go on the internet and on the web, and plus with the Windows 7, there's many more like gadgets and cool stuff we could do.
Students a rare chance to interact with the start of the art technology on a daily basis, an opportunity that they and the city's mayor appear more than thankful for.
Community colleges are supposed to help students make the leap from high school to college, but a new study shows that more than 2/3 of all transfer applicants aren't seeing their college dreams become a reality.
There are a variety of things that are wrong.
According to a new study out of Cal State Sacramento, more than 70% of community college students who want a degree from a 4-year college get it. Venegas says much of the problem can be traced back to prerequisites.
The average person would sign up for community college with the expectation to transfer, but they may not find that that's an easy thing to do at their school.
Students like these at LA City College are having trouble finding the right classes to fulfill the requirements of the school they want to transfer to. State officials say that they are working on establishing new programs that streamline community college classes with requirements from state schools.
We're looking at a policy very seriously that's going to require prerequisites for students to enroll in specific classes so that they don't do themselves a disservice by taking a class they're not ready for.
While reports show that so many individuals are having trouble making the transition from community college to a four-year institution, there are still people who are managing to make it from here at LA City College to right here at USC, where students say the key to making the switch is having a plan.
Well, I think a lot of it came down to my preparedness. Like I set out a game plan pretty early on and just stuck with that.
And while a plan helps, experts and research say the best thing for future transfer students to do is to stay passionate and committed.
With a lot of help, I'm pretty sure I will make it. My goal is to become my goal is just to get a bachelor's degree in history.
The California Board of Governors is set to meet in 2 weeks to discuss the findings of the study. Government officials say they eventually hope 80% of all college-bound students get a degree. And a new report says less Hispanics are pursuing higher education than other ethnicities in the U.S. The American Council on Education says understanding these setbacks will help policies to focus their resources to improve Hispanic education levels. These barriers include the lack of a high school credential, lack of speaking English well, and interrupted schooling before immigrating to the United States.
The Los Angeles City Council approved a measure that could add some spice to several terminals at LAX. In a 12-to-1 vote, the panel okayed the upgrades to the airport. While there is controversy over which concessions should have been included, airport officials are excited about what future flyers will say.
This is a significant improvement in what we are providing our passengers at LAX and offering them new quality concessions, both in food and beverage as well as retail opportunities.
While the decision comes late in October, travelers should expect some of the first restaurants and stores to open as early as summer 2011.
Well, Megan Tellis is going to join us again for what the temperatures look like outside right now and into the weekend.
And thank you, Robbie and Heather, and good evening, everyone. I'm standing outside right now, and there's not one drop of rain on me, and I believe that's the trend you're going to continue to see tonight and through the rest of the week and weekend. All right, it's already the third week into October, which means it's that much closer to Halloween, and if we're going to ask for these temperatures here in Southern California anytime, this is the right time to get into that Halloween spirit. Let's go ahead and take a look at the temperatures outside right now. We have a high of 78 degrees. It's mostly cloudy. It's going to, again, cool down and stay moist outside from last night's activity, so you might just want to be careful on those roads. The sun will rise tomorrow morning for all you early birds at 7:03 a.m. Let's go ahead and take a look at those temperatures across the Southland tomorrow, starting in Oxnard at 66 degrees, along the coast in Long Beach at 67, taking it all the way inland to the Inland Empire at 68 degrees. In the desert of Palm Springs, going to be a warm 82, and right here at the USC campus, it's going to be 69 degrees. All right, here is your 5-day forecast. Looks like tomorrow and Thursday we're going to be into the upper 60s, tomorrow and Friday, into the upper 60s, Saturday and Sunday back up to the 70s, and looks like it's going to be a perfect weekend for you to get out to the pumpkin patches and start picking those pumpkins. And so for this week's From the Ground Up segment, I want to introduce you to a USC graduate. He graduated in 2006, and he started his own business because of his passion for food and for food truck vendors. So go ahead and take a look at his story.
Because of this economy, the food truck movement was born, and for that, we've had quite a blessing.
Ross Resnick is a 2006 USC graduate and creator of RoamingHunger.com. This entrepreneur works out of his Hollywood Hills home and is a part of the food truck phenomenon. His website has a live tracking map that uses Twitter to show people where food trucks are.
Say the grilled cheese truck is out at USC campus, and they say, hey guys, we're at USC today from 11 to 2. We take that text stream and convert it into a point on a map, So when you go look at the site, you say, hey, I'm at USC, which trucks are near me? And then you can find that the grilled cheese truck is at USC.
RoamingHunger.com only took 5 months to build. Resnick has 10 part-time employees who have helped him create a successful business from the ground up.
It just takes a lot of attention, a lot of detail, and a lot of time. And there's a million other things that I could be doing other than the site. And I've chosen this.
RoamingHunger.com tracks trucks in over 9 cities across the United States and even in Canada. So the next time you're at a truck vendor, just know you could log online and track them the next time you want some food. All right, that's all I have out here at Levy Library. Robbie and Heather, back to you.
Thanks, Megan. I'll have to check that site out. The torch run for the Special Olympics kicked off today in Long Beach with participants from around the world.
Special Olympics Southern California was selected to host this conference about 5 years ago. So this has been a lot of time in the making for us.
The program had 1,200 officers present and raise $38 million this year for the Special Olympics. Conference officials hope to collaborate on ideas and ways to further improve the local torch run programs. The 3-day event comes to a close Friday with the Hall of Fame banquet. Football is having a bye week, but I heard they're still working hard. What do you think?
Yeah, well, I heard Coach Kiffin had them out there at 6:30 a.m. this morning. That's got to be rough, but they played well this weekend. Let's hear more from our sports anchor, Whitney Blaine. Whitney.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, it was actually 6 a.m., but rain or shine, early or late, Kiffin wants his team to practice. We headed there to find out what they're up to on their bye week. Also, the World Series is so close you can taste it. We have the Yankees-Rangers recap and Phillies score to come. And the USC-UCLA rivalry heats up this weekend in soccer. All this and more, sports is next. Welcome back to ATVN. Coach Kiffin didn't let the pouring rain prevent the Trojans from practicing at Cromwell Field today. The weather caused some slippery hands this morning. Receivers like Ronald Johnson and Devon Flourney dropped a couple passes. But after practice, Kiffin said defensive ends Nick Perry and Wes Horton were limited, as was running back Mark Tyler. And at practice this morning, we caught up with Matt Barkley for today's segment of Blaine Backstage.
Right now, though, where we're at, I feel really comfortable with the game plan, with how we're calling plays, with the timing of the receivers. We've come a long way since week 1, I believe, and we're even getting better from here on out. As opposed to the first couple of weeks, we're executing, and we're not shooting ourselves in the foot with little mistakes or turnovers or just false starts or something like that. We're moving the ball and we're being productive and we're playing Trojan football, and that's what I'm happiest about. And we're scoring points, which is the best thing.
Barkley didn't hand off the ball much today because running backs Alan Bradford and Dylan Baxter didn't practice. Another athlete suffering from injury is Yankee first baseman Mark Teixeira, who will be out for the rest of the postseason after straining his right hamstring yesterday in Game 4 against Texas. Teixeira said the injury would take about 6 to 8 weeks to heal. In Game 5 today, Lance Berkman replaced Teixeira at first base, and Robinson Cano batted in Teixeira's place. Cano helped the Yankees to win their second win in their series against the Rangers today. Cano and Nick Swisher hit solo home runs, beating the Rangers 7-2. Jorge Posada got the scoring started in the second inning. Alex Rodriguez comes in to put the Yankees up 1-0. The Yankees also got some help from starter CC Sabathia. Sabathia struck out 7 and held the Rangers on just 2 runs in 11 hits. And the Phillies-Giants game is going on now, with the Phillies' Joe Blanton taking the mound against San Francisco's Madison Bumgarner. San Francisco leads 2-0. Crosstown rivals hit the field today to decide which women's soccer team dominates Los Angeles. ATVN's Josephine Lee hit McAllister Field early this morning.
USC football team won't be playing this weekend, but there will still be a football game at the Coliseum this Friday. No, not that football. That football. The 23rd ranked women of Troy will butt heads against 19th ranked Bruins in a big Pac-10 matchup in the Coliseum. But there's more than just bragging rights on the line.
So we got two titles we're chasing here, the regular season and the biggest crowd to watch a college soccer game.
We want to do that, especially for showing how many fans we can get out in order to maybe hopefully get our own stadium someday.
Just over 7,800 fans showed up the last time the Trojans and the Bruins faced off here at the Coliseum in 2008. That broke the largest attendance record for any USC-UCLA soccer match, including the semifinals in 2007 when USC beat UCLA en route to their first national championship.
But UCLA has won 3 straight games against USC since the championship.
We haven't beat them since then, so it's always a huge rivalry, and especially just like because they're so close to us, and it's just we know each other really well.
Just 4 players remain from the 2007 national championship team. That includes midfielders Megan Ohai, Ashley Sandoval, and Alyssa Davila, and defender Carter Haug. And they play an important role for the young team.
We wouldn't be where we are if it wasn't for those 4 players sharing their knowledge and their experience with the youngsters.
This is the last time the soccer team will be playing at the Coliseum this season, and sparks will be flying under the stadium lights Friday night. Josephine Lee, ATVN.
Guys, USC is trying to break the record for largest attendance at a women's college soccer game. What do you think about that?
Filling in 90,000 seats in the Coliseum, I don't know. I'm hopeful for them.
It'll be tough.
UCLA getting a record? We can't have that. There's no way I'm going. I can't go. I love the soccer team, but I can't go because they can't get a record. We can't let UCLA get a record.
True story.
Well, for everyone here at ATVN, thanks for watching Annenberg TV News. I'm Robbie Heger.
And I'm Heather Hope. Catch us online at atvn.org. Good night.